Hey everybody, how you doing? Joe McCall here, and on this little video, I'm just going to share with you my personal story about how we bought this house as a lease option when I had horrible credit. A lot of you guys out there, you're watching this, you're real estate entrepreneurs, you're investors, you're the risk takers, you're the guys who go out there and make it happen. You start small businesses, you have businesses that some fail, sometimes you have partnerships that fail, sometimes you have challenges in your business and your credit takes a hit. There's a lot of really good reasons for bad credit, okay? And especially as you're an entrepreneur and as you're creating businesses, and even as you're an investor, you're starting to do a lot of volume. You may be making a lot of money, but when it comes to getting a loan from a bank to buy a really nice house, especially nicer homes, you know, like mine here, it's 3 acres, it's private, it's in a really good area of St. Louis. I needed to get a jumbo loan for this type of a house, which means you need to have really good credit and you need to put a ton of money down as an option or as a down payment on the house. So I was at a point, this is probably 5-7 years ago, I was just coming out of the real estate crash, right? And I had a bunch of properties that we bought, and we lost a lot of those homes to short sales. We lost our own personal residence to a short sale. It was a very, very difficult, rough time for me, right? And so needless to say, we wanted to buy a new house, but my credit was shot. A lot of people may get really discouraged by that, and you know, I can understand why. But what happened for me, I knew how to buy houses with little to no money down, regardless of my credit. And so I just took what I was applying in the real estate investing space and applied it to my own, finding my own personal residence. So about 6 years ago, we had just lost our house to a short sale. 7 years ago maybe. And we were in a rental house and we just were tired of it, and we wanted to actually get a house that we could call our own. But my credit was not where it wanted to be, where it needed to be, and I just didn't have the down payment that I needed at the time. Again, I was making really good money, so I did some marketing, and this was just for my regular deals. And the seller called me up and said, "Hey, I got this house. I need to sell it. I can't make 2 payments. I need some help. Can you help me?" I said, "Well, I don't know. Maybe tell me a little bit about the house." And so the guy started telling me about the house, gave me the address. I looked it up on Zillow, and I knew a lease option would be a good fit for him, right? Because I knew he didn't have enough equity to sell the house for cash. And I knew that he was getting motivated because he had 2 mortgage payments. He bought another house, thought he could sell this house, but couldn't. So I started asking him about lease option. I said, you know, would you consider maybe leasing it for a year or 2 and then selling it? And he said, yeah, that sounds great. We could do that. So I started talking about lease options, and I said, you know what? I got really good news for you. I think I might have a buyer right now already for your house. And he said, great. Tell me, who is it? I said, me. And so I started talking to him, looked it up, showed it to my wife. We drove by. It was a beautiful house, big 4,500 square foot house, 2 stories, and it had a walkout basement. So it was like a 3-story house almost. And the basement was finished. Nice cul-de-sac in a beautiful neighborhood in the suburbs, and a fenced-in yard that was pretty big. Great community, and we loved the house. So we negotiated a lease option on that house. We gave ourselves 3 years on that property. We only put $3,000 down, and we did it as kind of like a security deposit. The rent, I forget what the rent was, but it was just kind of more of a market rent. We decided to lease option that house, but you know, we didn't know if we really, really wanted to buy it. And that's one of the great things about a lease option. You get to try a house out before you buy it, right? To make a short story long as I go through here. After 2 or 3 years, we decided we don't want to buy the house anymore. And because it was a lease option, again, we had the option to buy it. We didn't have the obligation to buy it. So we actually helped the seller sell the house on the MLS. I do have a license. I am a realtor, so I actually helped the seller sell the house on the MLS, and I just waived my commissions to kind of help him out. He won, we won, everybody was excited. So then after that, we went on a 3-month trip to Europe. I'm trying to remember if that was actually Europe or if it was an RV trip. I'm not trying to brag or nothing. Over the last few years, we've taken some pretty big trips. We went to Europe for 3 months. We were just traveling around, kind of stationed in Prague and traveling around Europe. By the way, do you enjoy the rain here? Isn't this cool? It's beautiful. And I'm going to tell you about this house here in just a minute because this is like our dream home. So we went to Europe, right? And we were doing deals while traveling around the country, doing a lot of wholesaling in about 4 different markets while traveling around Europe, and just had a blast. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I can find a home when we get back. Not going to be an issue, not a big deal. So we started doing a little bit of marketing, trying to find a nice house while we were in Europe. I kept on putting it off. We'll do it when we get back. Came back to the U.S. This was about September, late summer. We still didn't have a place to live. So luckily we had our RV. So we lived in this RV for another 3 or 4 months, maybe 4 months, looking for a property. And again, it was so frustrating because I was making really, really good money at the time. I was making really good money. I could afford a very nice house. I just did not have the super incredible A+ credit that I needed to get the house. And I didn't have the huge 20% down payment that we needed. So we were very specific. My wife and I and our kids, I have 4 kids, and we homeschool them, right? So we needed a place that was big enough we could homeschool our kids. But we were very, very specific on the kind of house that would work for us, all right? We started doing some marketing and started sending some yellow letters around. But here's the frustrating thing that I wanted to tell you. Because of these issues that were still like 5 or 6 years old at the time on my credit from the short sales and some of the foreclosures, my credit still wasn't where it needed to be, and I didn't have the huge down payment. Now, the other thing that I forgot to mention is when you are a small business owner, you're an entrepreneur, right? Your goal is to make as much money as possible and keep as much of it as possible, right? So you need to take as many deductions as you can. So when you're doing your taxes, you try to report the lowest income that's possible. So when you're doing that and you're a small business owner, your tax returns may not show the income that the bank wants to see for a jumbo type loan, like for a really nice property. And most jumbo loans, it's going to be anywhere from like maybe, depending on where you live, $500,000 to $1 million or more. That might be a jumbo loan or something, right? So we started sending letters out, and we sending letters out to specific people that had properties that were big enough that we wanted, right? We started sending letters. We started sending text messages to Craigslist. And we saw this one house on Zillow, and we just decided, you know what? We could never afford that house, or they would never say yes to a lease option, right? I just needed like 6 to 12 months to get my credit and to a place and get a down payment large enough where I could actually get a real mortgage and buy the house. So we kind of ignored this house that we're looking at here for a good couple, 3 months. And finally we just said, you know what? Let's just contact the seller and ask him. So I sent a message through Zillow. It was a for sale by owner. Sent a message to the seller and I said, hey, we're just looking for a place that we can lease for a little bit and then buy. That wouldn't work for you, would it? We just asked the question, right? There's a lesson in there, by the way. The guy responded back, yeah, maybe. Why don't you go look at it? I'll have my friend come and meet you out there. He was living in Florida. His friend came and met us here, and we fell in love with the house. We walked in to the backyard. If you can see it, like, it's 3 acres. We back to a huge state park, and it's just gorgeous. We love it here. It's in the perfect neighborhood, real close to our friends, our church. We wanted to be in this area. And the seller said, yeah, I'll lease option it for you guys. And there's a separate carriage house. You can't see it right there, where I have my office and we let our family and guests stay. We just fell in love with this house. And the guy said, sure. So on our first lease option house, we did not put any money down. But on this one, we did. We put down about 10%, which is significant, but I had the cash. And then over the next year, we put down more money. So anyway, to make, again, a short story long, we actually bought this house. We now got it financed, and we bought this from a lease option, right? So I want to tell you this. This is something that I'm hoping will encourage some of you guys out there, right? Because you're the ones who are really making this economy run. The small business owners, the entrepreneurs that are putting everything on the line. You're risking your financial welfare for starting businesses. You're the ones who are creating jobs. You're the engine that is running this economy, right? And it's frustrating because you may be working real hard, making a lot of money, but because of failed businesses in the past or mistakes that you might have made or problems that you've had, your credit is not to where it needs to be. Maybe you don't have the down payment that you need to get a really, really nice house for your family. But when you understand lease options and you understand the power of creative financing, understanding like how to make offers to sellers and Give them different options. You know, here's a cash price, here's a lease option price, here's an owner financing price. You can find some incredible properties that you can lease for a period of time and then buy. Or maybe you could owner finance for a period of time and then buy. That's how we found this house. And I got so much more that I could share with you about it, but I'll do that in future videos. I'll show you around a little bit. In fact, I'm even thinking about creating a little mini course on how to find your own dream home, buy a lease option without putting a ton of money down, without having perfect credit. Maybe you don't have any credit and you just need some time to establish it, all right? So hopefully you get a little value out of this. Be encouraged, don't quit, don't give up. If you're living in a little tiny house, you've got kids, your wife is like frustrated because it's too small, like I've been there, done that, right? You need a bigger house for your family. You want something that, you know, is maybe closer to where you want to be. You want more things that you can do like recreationally in your house. You just want a better house. There is a ton of opportunity right now in the higher end market. There's a lot of sellers that have vacant homes in that higher end. That may be like $3 million for you in California. It may be $750,000 for those of you in the Midwest or something like that, right? There's a lot of sellers that have these really nice, big, beautiful properties that they can't sell right now because the market it's very difficult to sell these properties in the higher end. You can offer lease options, owner financing. And you'll be surprised at how many will say yes. I have students that I'm going to be telling you more about these later in future videos, but I have students right now that are buying multi-million-dollar homes to live in as lease options. You know, even down in Alabama, somebody's buying a $500,000 house. It's not a mansion, but it's a big, nice house as a lease option. Didn't put any money down. He's getting 100% rent credits for the first 5 years. So there's a lot of creative things. I'm excited about sharing you more about this strategy in future videos on Facebook and on YouTube and stuff like that, all right? So in the meantime, I just wanted to share that with you, tell you a little bit personal about my house here, and I'll be sharing with you later more videos about how we did all that, all right? Real quick, though, I forgot to bring one with me. If you want a book, I wrote a book on how to do lease options. It's called Wholesaling Lease Options, and you can get it for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Go to WLObook.com, WLObook.com. Get your hands on this book. It's free. Just pay shipping, and I'll send it out to you. You'll learn a little bit. Just get an introductory lesson on what lease options are and how to do them. And hopefully, maybe you can do a lease option for your own personal residence as well, too. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you. Bye-bye.